Ocean Dragon Lord Jago here. I'm going to bring you my going second Mermail deck profile. I'm going to explain some of my choices. I'm going to try and do this within 15 minutes, so it's not too long. It's actually my second time recording it. The first video was 45 minutes. Yeah, let's get started. Let's get popping. So, 3 Neptibus. I'm just going to go really quickly and mention it. I'm considering switching out one Neptibus for a Diva because I do not want so much functional redundancy. This is an all-gas deck, and I find that sometimes just seeing 2 Neptibus in hand, one of them essentially becomes a vanilla. Like, you can play where you can keep a body, but I don't know if it's worth it as of yet, so I am considering switching one to a Diva. But let's continue on. 3 Dragoons, pretty standard. This is probably one of the first big deviation. 2 Shadow Squad. Shadow Squad is the most searchable card in the deck. It's searchable by everything: Dragoons, Neptibus, Teus, Pike. Everyone can get to Shadow Squad, Poseidra as well. So I realize that I don't actually want to see it in my opening hand. I prefer this to be something I either send off with Poseidra. I will get this card in rotation some way, shape, or form, but I'm not pressed for starters. And then if you do see this card in multiples, it is what they are dead. And I'm trying to cut back on having dead cards. Next, definitely another out of the norm. 3 Heavy Infantry. Heavy Infantry is amazing for breaking boards. I don't know what more to say. Like, it's just amazing. Like, as long as they don't have some sort of protection, destruction protection, or they don't float from it, this applies so much pressure. And having it in multiple means you can have multiple pops. It's more valuable than Dragoons, to be honest, because you can just keep looping this and just pop things one by one. So depending on what you really need, I find infantry to be just as valuable. Like, it almost is like a built-in board breaker, or if you're playing it from hand, a built-in hand trap, but however you want to describe it. But infantry is super clutch, and then you can pair it with so many other cards as well. So 3 infantry. Next is 1 marksman, which marksman wins me games. Just marksman wins games. He's one of the best cards to bring back because when you're going for game, marksman, special summoning Dragoons, puts out 3200 damage. And that's nothing to scoff at, especially when you have other monsters to pair with it on board. He always helps close out games. And lastly, for my discards, would be a gun. I know a lot of people don't believe in gun, think it's a brick, whatever. It's built in. It's a built. What you're essentially trying to do is built-in follow-up. You want to have built-in follow-up. Like, I don't want to go to turn 3. I'm trying to kill you this turn, so I need to make sure my plays keep connecting. And gun is an amazing tool to be able to do that. Just have your plays continuously connect. After that, I'll move this off to the side. 3 Rhine. I considered cutting this down to 2, but I prefer to see it in my opening hand. Even though it's a hard once per turn, I still rather see Rhine. She isn't as searchable as Squad. Yeah, so I just found I still prefer 3. Next is 3 Poseidra, which she's also a hard once per turn, but what I realized about this deck is it lives and dies by level 7s. Being able to put level 7s on board will free up your other cards to be able to have their effects go off, because 2 level 7s threatens Gaios and Poseidra. So just getting level 7s on board will break far more boards than if you didn't have, like if you only had 5 or whatever amount people are running. I know a lot of people cut this down to 1. Teus is amazing because he chain blocks. Like, he's everything you ever wanted in an extender. He discards from hand, special summons himself, he's level 7, he chain blocks. Like, Teus does everything. So I 3. Not even a question, 3. After that, Megalo. Probably another super controversial run at 3. I started at 1, then went to 2, and then went to 3. Why 3 Megalo? Megalo searches you your in-turn follow-up. Megalo isn't once per turn. Megalo chain blocks, can make a gigantic chain, or at least a chain link 3 by himself. Megalo does a lot. So there's no, especially when you're running all gas, like if I open Dragoons plus infantry, yeah, I can go Teus and I can pick one of them. But if I have Megalo as an option, boom, I can just send both. I'm chain blocking. That Dragoon search is at the very beginning. That's chain link 1, chain link 2 infantry, chain link 3 Megalo. Like, I'm guaranteeing my Dragoon goes through. And him searching in-turn follow-up, like, it's funny, I've had people negate him and then be like, alright, combo a little bit more, do him again. They pick him up, like, he's not once per turn. No, he's not once per turn. If you have the cards to discard, he will search. He will summon and he will search. After that is 1 pike. 1 pike. I don't want too many normal summons, so I found 1 pike is like a sweet spot, and I won't. The deck no longer focuses me. I don't want to word this. The deck's focus isn't rank 4s, and if it's not rank 4s, you don't want to see multiple pike. Even if you're running Coelacanth, like 4 rank 4s don't propel your strategy forward the same way they did before when we had Bahamut. Therefore, I'm very comfortable with him at 1. I don't really see me bumping him up. Yeah, I don't see me bumping him up. Like, we just don't need rank 4s. Like, there's not a single rank 4 in my deck, because, like, there's nothing a rank 4 does that is spectacular. Like, Snowdust Giant is garbage. Like, there's no point in running that. We just have better tools and better options. So pike at 1 is perfect. Title is next. Title is a free, I don't know what that was. Title is a free level 7, and Title being a free level 7 is super important. Like, you live and die by level 7s, so the easier they are to get on board, the more of a threat your board is. Like, you are basically 1 or 2 cards away from threatening Poseidra Abyss or Link Climbing. Like, you can get bodies on field. Not just bodies. I don't want to just say bodies. Like, being able to get to Poseidra Abyss is super important. Like, he's not a once per turn, so the easier he is to get to, and the more options and ways you have to making him, the more you can thread in the bounce. And something else, there's another cute, cheeky combo you can do with Tidal, which I'll get to towards the end, and I'll kind of like um, showcase why he's even a great send off of Poseidon Abyss to bring back. Like, it'll help close out games, um, even when your opponent is stopping you or interrupting you. He just does everything. Like, he's a discard from hand, he's level 7, he's summons himself back from the grave. Like, he does everything. And to round out the cards that enable, we have Area the Water Chandler. I don't love her in this deck at the moment. She's okay. She's essentially the fourth copy or the extra copy of every card in the deck. But I do find that she is sometimes just redundant. Like, I don't need the extra search. My hand's already enough gas as it is. And she's just kind of there sometimes. So I may replace her with something else that's more useful, but I'm not 100% sure at the moment. I'm gonna go straight into jump into spells next. So I run Triana and 2 spell card Soul Exchange. Triana, because I am running Megalo, like he searches in turn follow up. I just want to keep having my plays connected. And then spell card Soul Exchange is a great board breaker because I contribute 2 of my opponent's monsters. I'm always running level 7s, but it helps me connect my plays, or connect your plays, where you're going to tribute one of their or 2 of their monsters and you're going to get a level 7. If this is your starting play with Poseidon, like you're cracking a board, then you're sending something off Poseidon, you're also bouncing. Like, it just does a lot. Yeah, and like the drawback of the card isn't necessarily real if it's your starting play, or most people don't even have options in their deck to tribute your stuff to even get themselves a body. So I do find that spell card Soul Exchange is just, it's a board breaker. It's non-engine, but it almost functions as engine. Like, it's almost like more copies of Triana for level 7s. Go into my other board breakers. 3 Gamma Seal. The Kaiju is not, you can't respond to the Kaiju, and I know people say Kaijus don't do enough, but I'm gonna bounce this back to hand, then I'm gonna Kaiju you again. If you decide to get it off of the field, alright, then I'm still gonna bounce something else, or I can retrieve it. Like, there's just so much you can do, and it being a water body, I can, if I Kaiju you twice or I end up Kaijuing you 3 times, like, it's just so versatile to clear a field, where the most people at my locals I play with understand that they can't even leave this on field, because I will get it back, I will Kaiju you again, and it's just not worth it. So they always try taking it off. And if I do open multiples, it's just like, alright, well, here's another Kaiju. And it just never feels bad. It forces them into like awkward situations, and there's nothing they can do. Like, it's not like Imperm where they can dodge it. Like, it just happens. And even in a pinch, you can use spell card Soul Exchange and 2 cards gone because you Kaiju them. Like, I love the Kaiju. I would not leave home without it. Then we got 3 Perulia and 3 Fuas. Take a sip of water. Excuse me. Because I am running all gas, the Charmies just give me more gas. Like, at worst, they're all upstart, so I'm playing a 34 card deck. And at best, they are a +3, like a Pot of Greed or a Graceful. Like, it's just, they're always applying pressure or trading one for one. Like the Charmies just don't ever feel bad, especially when you're going second, where they're going to be live. Like if you draw it in your opening 5, like it's live 100% of the time. You never have to worry about like, oh, am I going first? I'm going second. No, you're going second, and you're running 6 maxis. I did try it with meows in the main as well, but I ended up cutting them for kaijus because the kaijus were just doing more and more effective. Like, yeah. And then seeing these in multiple, like having your opponent end on a half board because you hit them with a Charmy, you're cracking it. The deck just pops off, and is like the way it's constructed, it's so hard to stop the deck because things are always going to be getting through. Like effects are always going to be going through, and your plays are always going to be connected. I just want a series of connecting plays is how I wanted, like the idea behind designing the deck. Moving on to the extra deck. We got 2 Poseidra Abyss, not a once per turn. The only thing that's once per turn about this, or hard once per turn, is how you make it. And that's if you want to cheat it out by overlaying on top. But he is not a once per turn. None of his effects are once per turn. So this is our best tool in our deck. Next we got 1 Gaios. I do want to bump this up to 2 for going first purposes. But right now the deck is strictly designed to go second. Abyss trait, self-explanatory. The virtue just helps you get back your resource economy, or manage your resource economy and get a card back in hand. For links, Mermail King, Coral Anemone, pretty standard. And this is where things get a little more interesting. I'm running both level 4 Bubble Reef and Aqua Argonaut because what I realized when going second is Neptibus, his targeting protection is irrelevant. If you're trying to kill them that turn, you don't need the targeting protection. What I find him useful for is retrieving back Triana from grave to give me another card to discard. And that's how he continues to connect the plays. But I rather link him off and go into either Aqua Argonaut for another bounce or go into Bubble Reef to help OTK. The cheeky thing I was talking about earlier is if you use Tidal to banish Coral and another card when you have Bubble Reef up, she gains 1200, putting her at 38. Because she'll gain from both monsters that are banished. So it's easier to OTK once you summon back the Coral, so discard whatever water to bring back Coral and enemy, and then these 3 alone threaten lethal. And yeah, that's just like a cheeky thing you can do to continue playing. And the last, let me get this out the way. And lastly, to round it off for my links, is Atlantis. I know every water player tried Atlantis and it never came up. It just was irrelevant. It's not realistic. And we're wrong. We are wrong. I was wrong. I was on that bandwagon before, but I was wrong. So Atlantis is clutch. Like, he comes up. Especially once you realize that, like, I'm not staying at King, Mermail King, and you're going to a rank 4. This is just another way to thread in a board wipe. Like, there's no point in not running it when you naturally, like, as you're comboing and playing into a board, you will accumulate links and be able to link climb because you just need to link stuff off for your regular plays as you're trying to loop these cards. So it's just an extra layer of interaction that is free because your focus is this, and this is kind of naturally happening as you're just trying to continue these plays. Um, and I did it to a Malice player at my locals, who was gonna pick up water until he played me, and then decided he hates the deck. Um, but what ended up happening is I was going to attack for a game. I went for battle. I went to battle phase. He went. It's still in main phase. Brought back all his malice. Brought back all the malice bodies, and I went, okay. I ended up linking off. I believe I had Mermail King, Trait, and Marksman. I linked off Marksman and Trait to make. Who did I make? I linked them off to make Coral. Yeah, so I linked them off to make Coral. Coral brought back Marksman. Used these two to make Zelantis. And yeah, use these two to make Zelantis and then wipe their field. And that was pretty much all she wrote, because Marksman also brought out Dragoons, and he already lost so much life from just the Malice effects that was game. He was pretty cheese because he also had Nib me, and that was essentially going through Nib through his board. Yeah, he was just like, how I nibbed you. I you banished my whole board. Like, he was very upset. But that's besides the point. It's just showing that this card is real. It is relevant once you kind of understand the true objective of what your deck is trying to do. I know it's like most times it's like, if you can't play, how are you can play. When you build it like this, you can play. The last couple cards to round out the extra deck are in a weird spot, because if you were paying attention, I have no tuners in my deck. I was siding a tuner. I was siding a Ice Jade Ran. I would like to fit a tuner in the deck. Monoceros is definitely gonna get cut. I was hoping it could be Grethus, but ultimately I don't think it's worth it. I do want whatever tuner that goes in offers more value than just being a tuner. I know Grethus can bring back, but like, he doesn't help connect the plays, because he's not a discarder. So I think either Ran or Minstrel are two really good ones, or Diva. But whatever tuner I pick does need to help continue and connect plays. I do like this little Ice Jade package where he can basically cheat out a level 7 that discards for you, or he can get you a banish. I like the banish. I like Trishula more than I like Chen Ying and Adrien. Yeah, I like him more than those two. I know he's a level 9 and not level 10, but essentially the package is kind of the same. Like, he can cheat him out. He can cheat out him, but if he gets removed, he's Trishula. So I found that little synergy in the extra deck to be worth it. And then Trishula 0 is just kind of like icing on top of the cake, where if you do decide to interact with this, then boom, I'm gonna hit you for banish 3. And if you decide to out this, or you hit it improperly, you can then Trish. And something cute you can do with him is, if he crashes into something and gets destroyed, his effect does go off. So even if it's like a body you can out, like, you can get a nice board wipe off of it. So I found that these are kind of like a cute tight knit package. Monoceros will get switched out. What for, I'm not 100% sure as of yet, but it probably will be another synchro. It just depends on the tuner I decide to go with. But yeah, that is the extra deck. And just last quick notes about the deck is you really just want your plays to keep connecting, and you just want to be able to combo. We naturally play through a lot of small interactions, and because we send a lot of things for cost, it's hard for our opponent to actually stop everything. And as we accumulate resources and certain interactions do go through, we should be able to piece together a board that does essentially crack your opponent's board. Like getting to Poseidon Abyss, something I realized is like, even when Poseidon Abyss gets outed and you bring back Shadow Squad plus 2 other cards, that's meant to make him float. Like you're supposed to remake the Poseidon Abyss again, to do it all over again, to bounce whatever's lingering or whatever's still on the field. Like Poseidon Abyss floats, and once you kind of grasp that concept and you're playing in a way that like he will float, you're using him to his like best ability. And I did consider him to play him at 3, but I realized because I'm playing Triana, I could always shuffle one back in or shuffle it back in if I need it. So truthfully, 2 is the perfect amount. Just have to respect Unicorn a little bit. No point in not respecting Unicorn, especially when like he's such a key vital card when it comes to cracking boards. Hit me in the comments. Let me know how much you disagree with some of the ratios, or what you like. If you decide to try the deck, let me know how that goes for you and how successful that is. That's Ocean Dragon Lord Jago signing out. Peace.